The whole family was invited to my daughter's wedding, except me. "Dad, you know my fiancé doesn't like you. If you come, you'll make it awkward," she said, not even looking up from her phone. I just nodded. I understand. And I did understand. I understood more than she could have imagined. My name is Walter. I'm 58 years old, and I raised Emma by myself from the day her mother passed. When she was 9, I poured concrete under the Texas sun for 30 years and built Hadley Contracting from a single borrowed truck into a company that put a roof over every birthday, every school dance, every late-night fever. There was no one else. Just me and her in a small brick house in Houston, the two of us against the whole world. So when Emma called me 8 months ago, glowing about a man named Derek, I was happy for her. Derek was charming. Derek wore a watch that cost more than my first truck and talked about deals that never seemed to close. Derek called me Walt and clapped me on the shoulder like we were old friends. And Derek, I would learn, never paid for anything that someone else could be talked into paying for. When the wedding planning started, the numbers got big fast. The venue, the catering, a dress Emma cried over in the boutique mirror. Derek's family, it turned out, was between investments. So I did what I had always done. I quietly wrote the checks, all of them, $41,000, and I never said a word because I didn't want my daughter to feel the weight of it on the happiest day of her life. What I wasn't supposed to hear was Derek on the back patio one evening, phone pressed to his ear, laughing in the dark. "The old man's good for the checkbook, that's about it," he said. "Once the ring's on her finger, he's out of the picture. Trust me." I stood very still in the unlit kitchen. I didn't slam a door. I didn't say a thing. A cold kind of calm came over me instead. The same calm I get right before I fix something that's badly broken. 2 weeks later, Emma uninvited me, and on the morning of the final walkthrough, I drove to the venue anyway, not to fight, just to make sure that the $41,000 I had spent had bought my girl something perfect. The door to the bridal suite stood open a few inches. Derek was inside, getting ready. So was Brittany, the wedding planner, and what I saw through that narrow gap was not two people going over a seating chart. I didn't gasp. I didn't shove the door open. I lifted my phone, held my hand steady, and let it record every second. Then I drove home, poured myself a cup of coffee, and waited. I didn't say a word at that dinner. But 3 days later, every phone at that wedding lit up at the same time, and the groom went white before the bride had even pressed play. Watch the rest of the story at the blue link in the first pinned comment.